This is what's happening, and this is what I need you to see what's going on. Please help me. And we're no longer in our 20s and 30s, we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Okay, so people need to look at it this way. You have survived. The bell curve is brutal. It's the area, I mean, watch, what do dogs do when they want to mate? Some dogs will bloody themselves and avail themselves to a fight where they get injured in order to attain the mate that they seek to bond with. And so we go through this process, and sometimes we wind up divorced over here at age 40 or 50. We go through this bell curve, and our problem is the practice, females, right? Now, here's what happens. Sometimes people get started early at a young age, and before they enter into the bell curve, where there's always a stolen beauty that wants to own their families and their fortunes through the use of sexual employment. But before they each, some of them start early, age 12 or 14, and from there sometimes it goes to a wolf den with people like, oh, what was her name? Mrs. Bumblebee Jasper. And it goes to a wolf den. And so this wants to hide. This is usually done by age 14, sometimes 15, but those in charge of the wolf den don't really want to be seen by employers and conscious members of society. They don't want to be seen by pastors, so they try to own the kids at a very juvenile age before they have their encounters with the electric Hells Angels cutie blondes from Playboy, and they'll have their sexual experiences early in this age before marriage, and from there they owe, and it's a debt that can never be paid. But this usually gets exhausted before age 27. Sometimes they'll try to switch over to pool parties, and you can tell they're just struggling for oxygen. So these tend to hang it up in their 20s, and then who takes over is usually the soft, mild Morgan Fairchild, blondish, sometimes honey brunettes of a milder class, more from a modeling agency. And so men once they're older don't want to worry about being stalked by Hell's Angels. So these ones say, let's fly off to Nepal and have our rendezvous there. And so kind of all this goes on outside of marriage. And this is usually concluded, and sometimes there's divorces in the 40s and 50s, and the kids are growing up. Now, the problem I see is people turn 40 or 50, and some of them think, okay, 40 and 50, so psychologically they think they're going back to this. And they're not over here, but their minds, some of them will go insane because their minds will take them, and their brain is going to tell them they're back over here. And that this got washed in a way, or it just went to the wayside, or maybe it's possible that they arrive over here and this starts to restock them over again. Hi, Bob, how you doing? The kids are grown, they run into them at the grocery store or maybe at the beer at the bar. So the problem is getting them to realize they're not over here anymore. They're not over here, they're over here. And when this picture looks like this, it's time to start working with St. Jude to make sure that this does not feel entitled to come and restock them and try to revert and try to reduplicate an era that's had its death sentence years ago. So how do we solve it? What are some more ideas to solve it when the picture looks like this? And maybe you want to just be left alone and you want to solve the problems with your kids, and this keeps threatening to come back. What are some? Let me come back.